And hold on. We're live. Oh no, here we go, Seth.
I'm trying to play Desperate Housewives. I literally just printed it offline. I love that thing.
Well, go ahead.
There's more coming, but Jenny Elfman, blah, blah. Anyway, hi, everybody. We changed locations. I just read something that said you shouldn't ever have a bookshelf behind you for live stream because it's too distracting. Is it? Or do you think it's amazing? Anyway, I'm Seth. This is James. It's Stars in the House. What is Stars in the House? We know we have all these new viewers tonight because Desperate Housewives sucked you all in.
Yes.
Stars in the House, something we do twice a day for the Actors Fund. We started a little less than 4 weeks ago. We do it at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern, but then it always remains online at starsinthehouse.com. And it's basically like a telethon. It's an interview show. There's music. It's just funsies to make you guys feel close and kind of a united world because we have people watching all over the world. Plus, we'd love you to donate. The minimum donation is $5. The maximum is so much money. You donate right there. Donate at starsinthehouse.com,
right.
And it all goes to the Actors Fund. But James, what is the Actors Fund?
The Actors Fund has that name not because it only serves actors, but because it started 138 years ago when there was no TV, there were no records, there were no films. It was only stage. And everyone, this is what BB Newirth told us, everyone behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, were called actors.
They were show folk.
And they haven't changed the name, but the help that they give has only grown exponentially during this crisis. And so they give money to people to pay their rent, to pay their utilities, their food, medical bills, their health insurance premiums. And we're talking about any professional in the performing arts around the country, not just New York, not just LA, anywhere in your community where there's a professional performing arts person. It could be your teacher, a singing teacher, a dance teacher,
a bar mitzvah singer, a ballet dancer,
wedding singer,
a crew person, a spotlight operator, script supervisor, anybody in the arts, and nobody is working right now. And people really live kind of check to check in the arts. They can get their rent money from the Actors Fund. They can get their medical needs met from the Actors Fund. ActorsFund.org. If you need help right now, go to ActorsFund.org.
That's right. And they are giving out $250,000 a day in direct financial assistance to people in the performing arts all over the country every single day. So we wanted to give a shout out to a few people who gave from the last show. And it just so happens that you may have a certain cast member who's known for her voiceovers from Desperate Housewives who will be reading some donations throughout the show.
So if you make a donation, you could have an amazing voiceover by Brenda
the
Strong.
The amount of times that we have said yes in our household, you don't want to know. All right, we want to just give a quick shout out to Susanna from Washington, D.C., who already gave $100. Lisa from Virginia, $25. Darcy from New York, $25. A lot of New Yorkers. Amanda from New York, $50. Patricia from New York, $100. And Michael from New York, $100.
Now, by the way, that's just amazing because New York is suffering right now so much. It's actually really very moving that people are taking the time to donate because it's really sad out there. So anyway, but we're here to really feel united. And you want to talk about those comments for Tuesday? I don't know if the comments are still there, but we literally had comments. Where were they from, James?
Oh my gosh. I showed some of the cast members earlier, but I think if I scroll up, I mean, I can't even. They're already gone. Nigeria, Brazil, Italy, Germany, people watching from all over the world.
Right now, with the crazy time difference. So it's like 2 a.m. in the morning and they're watching because they're all obsessed with Desperate Housewives as we are.
Yeah. So we were, just full disclosure, we were late to the game for Desperate Housewives, the creation of Mark Cherry.
Yeah.
Created Desperate Housewives. We were late. We watched it after it went off the air. But boy, did we catch up on Hulu, which our friend David Katz, who helps put all this together, confirmed that you can, and it is, I believe, the perfect, I don't know how that happens.
Hola, that's from David.
Okay. The perfect show to watch while we're all self-quarantined. So like I said, we were all late to the game. Julie, our 19-year-old, who will be making a couple of appearances today. Usually we watched it together as a family, but sometimes she would be up all night and would get ahead of us.
It made her so angry.
And we would say, you cannot tell us what happened.
Oh, so frustrating. She's like, he's dead already. We're like, we don't know that. Anyway, all right. Can we first bring in our narration?
Yes.
Okay, so please welcome Mary Alice herself, the wonderful Brenda Strong.
Exactly 8 years have passed since Desperate Housewives went off the air. It all began with the suicide of Mary Alice, played by me, Brenda Strong. While I was alive, I was friends with Catherine Mayfair, played by the fabulous Dana Delaney, and here she is now.
Hi.
Every morning, while alive or dead, I would see Gabriella Solis exercising in Lululemons and 6-inch heels. We called her Gabby, but she's also known as Eva Longoria. Way after I died, man-loving Renee Perry moved into town. Why, she was beautiful enough to be Miss America. As a matter of fact, she was Miss America in real life. Presenting Vanessa Williams. And finally, while I've been in heaven, I've had the pleasure of spying on Bree's bank account. I'd love to tell you some of the raunchy things I've seen, but they mostly involve scrubbing the floor with a toothbrush dipped in baking powder. Bree Vanderkamp had a few last names, but we all know her as Marcia Cross. Yes, perhaps we were desperate housewives back then, but underneath it all, we were good friends, and we still are today.
Yay!
Here's our daughter Julie watching from the side.
We're so excited you're all here.
Yes.
Okay, so James did amazing culling of various videotapes. So why don't you start?
Well, yeah, we can. Yeah, let's start right here with the first one, Seth. Go to those.
So for those of you that haven't seen it, here's how the whole show begins. Spoiler alert: suicide. But this will just show you the tone.
We don't go into that right now.
No,
So
but that's what
it
this
leads
is.
up to it. Go.
My name is Mary Alice Young. When you read this morning's paper, you may come across an article about the unusual day I had last week. Normally there's never anything newsworthy about my life, but that all changed last Thursday. Of course, everything seemed quite normal at first. I made breakfast for my family. I performed my chores. I completed my projects. I ran my errands. In truth, I spent the day as I spent every other day, quietly polishing the routine of my life until it gleamed with perfection.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's sad.
Okay, we have so many questions. First off, okay, because Brenda, you started off you were the first housewife, and then you're basically gone right after that. But yet you've been on in every single episode. So what we're wanting to know is, did you guys have table reads, and were you there, Brenda? Like, how did it work? Did you never see these women except for flashbacks?
No, we actually, Mark really wanted to hear everything out loud before we would shoot. So we would have table reads before every episode. So that's pretty much my through line with them. They got to see each other all the time.
Right.
But it was really nice to be able to have that connective tissue because my work was separate from their work on camera, unless I was in that episode.
Yeah.
You're such a great speaking voice. And just recently, with my diligent research, I was reading you actually sing. So what's the deal with that?
I got a musical theater degree in college and studied light opera, but never really put it to professional use except for singing throughout Italy for a composer. But yeah, I'd love to go back and do Broadway. It'd be really fun.
What role did you play in college?
I was Loom in Kismet. I was Guinevere in Camelot, and that kind of thing.
Hit it.
I'm gonna mute myself right now. Talk to Eva. She's gotta leave.
By the way, Eva just texted me that she's going to be able to come back after. So for you viewers who don't know, Eva Longoria has an actual baby in real life. You're going to have to do a baby feeding at one point, right?
I'm not breastfeeding him. He's 2 now, but I do have to go feed him. I'm just going to run downstairs and shove the food to my husband so he can do it. But that's not till a little bit. But yeah, I love Brenda's like, I just did a little bit of singing through Italy.
Thanks for the Pope.
You're coming back on
Celebration in 2000 in Vatican, so that was fun.
Oh
So
my God.
And in Easter, it's kind of, that celebration again, but it was Christmas time.
I love it.
So the question I'd like to ask everyone, and I'll just so we don't talk over each other because of the system, is what are you doing to stay healthy during all this? And that, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Marcia, what about you?
Oh my God, I've never cleaning in my life, and I'm not like Brie Vandekamp, but suddenly my housekeeper, whom I now see as like the queen, I miss her. I know that sounds really spoiled, but that is one of my pleasures, is having her. And so I don't know that's my exercise: laundry, cleaning, trying to cook.
You're not like Brie. Oh yeah, everyone has to turn off the notifications because if anything dings, it echoes for 25 minutes. Hey, Vanessa, are you literally working out on the treadmill?
What is she doing?
Sit down. Where are you going? Wait, she's just there. Vanessa? What is happening?
I don't know if you guys can hear me. I can't hear you guys at all.
I
I can hear gals. I can't. Seth and James, I can't hear you at all.
Okay. So we'll probably have you go off and then come back on.
I can't hear you.
Log off.
She's gonna come back on. I'm gonna hold on. There we go.
I've never seen someone move around more. And so beautiful doing it.
Exactly.
Are we on?
Yes, we're on.
We're
Yeah.
on the show.
Hold on.
Okay, there she goes. Okay.
Bye, Vanessa.
While we're waiting for Vanessa, Brenda, what about you? What are you
I have
doing?
to leave too.
I've been doing yoga in my office. I have 2 yoga teachers that have got on Zoom and have created their classes, and all of us are finding it keeping our sanity together. I don't have very much room in my office, so trying to do big long standing poses is a challenge. But that and walking my dog.
Oh, we have the 4 doggies. We know what that's like.
Yeah.
What about you, Delaney?
This really is not that different from my life. I drink a lot. I am a loner, so I spend all my time alone anyway. I live alone. I do my yoga. I walk. I watch Criterion Channel. Really, no different.
No adjustment whatsoever. Eva Longoria, what about you?
Oh my gosh, I've never worked out so much in my life. That's what I'm doing, working out and cook. I cook a lot. I actually am Brie Vandekamp. I am sewing. I've been baking. I have been weaving baskets. I mean, you name it. I've been making masks and donating masks, sewing them. Yeah, I mean, I feel more busy now than before. And of course, spending all this time with my son, which is amazing because I was actually starting to get a lot of anxiety of being. I was going to start directing this feature, and it was just the thought of all those hours on set away from him was giving me anxiety. And then this happened, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is a good time for the universe to stop, slow down,
Right,
and then continue after this is over. I just want him a little bit older. I just want him a little bit older before I was really diving back into work. And so this has been really nice to do, although it took a world crisis for it to happen, unfortunately.
a lot of people have been saying very similar things.
That you get to bond with your family, that's on the upside. Or in our case, fighting nonstop. Vanessa, can you hear us? You look great.
Yeah, it's still choppy, but now I can at least hear your voice.
As long as you keep walking, it's a wonderful effect.
I know. You can see a whole tour.
What a good light.
Fighting the light.
Find your light. Find your light.
Find my here's a light. There we go.
Nice. Yeah, good.
My ring light that I just bought.
Hold on. Vanessa, someone's sassing you. They need to change Renee Perry to Vanessa Williams. Vanessa put that in herself. That was her choice. Bravo.
Look at that lighting.
That was there we go. This is the ring light I bought off Instagram like last week because now that we're hostage in our homes, everyone's like, can you do something? No, you can't say no because you're not home anymore.
Yeah, I think let's go to a clip, Seth.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yes, we can hear you. Okay, so Marcia Cross, you're really the one.
I got these.
you're really the one that got everyone together.
Yeah.
You know. So we wanted to sort of show a little classic Brie Vanderkamp clip. This, by the way, is not you in real life. That's what's so crazy, that you're not an uptight person and you're not controlling.
No, just the opposite. I wish I could be controlling. I can't even follow my own thoughts, let alone control them. Yeah. That was very,
Did you get a kick out of playing someone that is so rigid?
Yeah, I loved it. I actually loved it. It worked. I don't know why. It was the complete opposite of me, but I loved it. I loved her. And yeah, it's nice to see everybody. It makes me miss it. Yeah.
Did you base Brie on anybody you know?
Yes, I did. A friend of mine, her name is Marianne Contreras, who was my roommate. She's now been a lifelong friend. And I literally I moved in with her. I was going back and forth from New York to LA, trying to get my bearings, get a job. And I would take a sip of my coffee, I'd put it down, and then I would look for it. And it was, washed and cleaned it in the dish rack. And she was up going to, Jane Fonda. And I was to see this, so I'll modify, but I wasn't that healthy. Anyway, she's like a 5-star chef and just brilliant. And so she was my role model, Marianne Contreras. Yeah.
All right, well, here you are in action.
Now, this clip is from, I guess, Germany or something, right? But the subtitles are not in English, but it was the best clip we could find because so much of your character is defined by food, right?
And control.
And control. And this is early on in the series.
So, how's the ossobuco?
That's okay.
It's okay. Andrew, I spent 3 hours cooking this meal. How do you think it makes me feel when you say it's okay in that sullen tone?
Who asked you to spend 3 hours on dinner?
Excuse me?
Tim Harper's mom gets home from work, pops open a can of pork and beans, and boom, they're eating. Everyone's happy.
You'd rather I serve pork and beans?
Apologize now, I am begging.
I'm saying, do you always have to serve cuisine? Can't we ever just have food?
Are you doing drugs?
What?
Change in behavior is one of the warning signs, and you have been as fresh as paint for the last 6 months. It certainly would explain why you're always locked in the bathroom.
Trust me, that is not what he is doing.
Shut up. Mom, I'm not the one with the problem here, all right? You're the one always acting like she's running for mayor of Stepford.
Rex, seeing that you're the head of this household, I would really appreciate you saying something.
Pass the salt.
Oh my God, that was the pilot.
So that was the pilot. So you didn't know the show was going to be picked up yet, or
No, that was remember that, Eva?
Oh my God, I remember.
Wow.
Do you guys remember when you all first met? Talk about that. I'm so fascinated.
I just remember Eva coming into the reading, and she was, this beautiful little waif and just the most delightful, loving human on the planet, and pretty much stayed that way the whole time. Got very famous, and
That's
always been Eva.
That's all I remember too. I remember being terrified. We walked into that table read, and Marcia was on a hit show before, and Felicity was on a hit show, and Terry was on, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Eva. I've never done anything in my life." And Marcia would immediately wrapped her arm around me, and she goes, your life is about to change. She knew from that table read the magic that happened. And I was like, what do you mean? What does that mean? And I went to Marcia.
Wait, you're cutting off at the climax.
Uh-oh.
Okay, go again.
What?
We heard everything except for the last sentence.
Oh, Marcia was like my moral compass and my spiritual compass throughout the whole show.
And Vanessa, was it crazy for you coming onto a show that was already a big hit? Were you like, hi? She's frozen.
No, I got the gig because I was just coming off Ugly Betty. we were finishing 4 seasons.
Oh, I can't.
And at the end of the 4th season, I was just about to do Sondheim on Sondheim on Broadway at Studio 54. And of course, as you know, Mark Cherry is a huge Stephen Sondheim fan and actually names every episode after a Sondheim song. So Mark came to see me in the show in May, and I got the call like a week later saying, would you think about coming on to our show? So because I was staying in the ABC family, obviously Desperate Housewives was a huge hit, and it was great to be able to jump into something that is already a well-oiled machine, but also bring what I had to. And I loved playing with these gals. It was so much fun.
Hey, that's Brenda. Did you get the donations, the first batch we already got in?
I did. Let me
read
put
them?
my glasses on.
Okay.
I think you mean yes. I did.
I did.
These are literally the donations that have just come in the first 20 minutes of the show. Go ahead.
Okay.
Just a few.
So it doesn't say how much, but thank you to Julius from Delaware. Ruth from, do you want me to actually say the dollar amount?
Yeah, this is just their first name.
So Julius from Delaware donated $100. Ruth from Ontario, Canada, $50. Robert from Florida, $50. Susan from Pennsylvania, $50. Tim from California, $250. Mark from Texas, $25. Mike from Indiana, $100. Alexis from Kentucky, $75. And Amy from Tennessee, $50. Thank you so much.
Eva, we have this amazing clip for you next, and go ahead.
I can't hear Vanessa, so if she says something to me or about me, y'all need to tell me.
We will.
Relatively nice.
Vanessa and I bonded. Let me tell you, when I met Vanessa, we bonded because we were both pageant girls. We were pageant girls.
There's 3 of us that were pageant girls.
That's right.
You may not know this, but I was in the Miss America pageant the year before you.
What was your talent, Brenda?
Singing.
Graduate has someone denied the pass for art history major. Wait, so what was your song? Oh, I Barely Sing. Go.
It was what did I have that I don't have from On a Clear Day? You Can See Forever, and it was a medley.
Ooh.
What did I have?
What did I have that I don't have? What have I got? A strange your knack of. I can't remember the word. How many years ago? I don't even want to know.
Brenda.
But going back to the pilot, I didn't get cast in the pilot. I got cast after they shot the pilot. So I had to go in and they had to reshoot all the scenes with Mary Alice Young. Oh. And I remember sitting at that table where Terry was telling us about, her character Susan being cheated on by Carl. And Eva looked over in between the takes and she goes, "It's amazing how things change when only one person in the dynamic shifts." It was just like, it was a totally different scene. And so I was so grateful to enter into this amazing, already existing group of gorgeous, talented, phenomenal women. And I was intimidated because they were already bonded. So I know how you felt, Vanessa, when you said that. So anyway.
And with Dana, you also came in late, right? You came in.
Yeah.
So
4th season.
Right, 4th season. What was it like for you to enter?
It was, no, it was great. It's a crazy show. And honestly, as an actor, it took a little while to get used to the show, the tone of the show, because it's so, big and strong and over the top, not over the top, but big. And once you realize, I remember Mark giving me a direction my first day. And he said, "Do it like this." And I was like, "Really?" And then I just thought, okay, it's Joan Crawford. I'm playing Joan Crawford. And then I just went with that and I had a ball. I just had a ball.
I feel like Marcia got the brunt of that, of Mark saying.
He did be Arthur for me. I can see it right now. He was brilliant. And I would think, he's brilliant. I can't do that, but I can see the hand going, and I see him walking. I mean, did you guys all see it? He's amazing.
Yes.
So just look at him like, oh my God, I wish I could do what you're doing, but
yeah. I would think
way.
it's a hard show to come on late, only because, not because of us, we were amazing, but because Mark was so specific in he came to blocking every scene. He would line read for us because he wanted a rhythm of the line. You had to say the words the way they were written, and I had such a great appreciation for it because it made my job so much easier. I'm like, just tell me how you want it.
But we're gonna show this comedy scene. Whether or not you got a line reading for it, it's so natural. That's what I love about it. We were laughing so hard watching this.
We already watched it a couple of times today.
This is with that obnoxious nun that's trying to steal your damn husband.
Something like that. But mostly I do charity work. Are you two?
Yeah, you have to be perfect with Mark.
No.
Can you hear me?
But we should be. I mean, let's face it, Gabby. Buying more stuff isn't going to make our lives any better.
Exactly. Money can't buy happiness.
Well, sure can. That's just a lie we tell poor people to keep them from rioting.
Gabby.
It's a joke. Lighten up.
It's so good. What season was that? Because I was trying to show that scene to my husband when I beat that nun up, and I don't remember what season.
I think it was first season.
Was it?
I'm almost positive it was first season because he wants to have a baby. It was early.
Yeah. I usually can tell the seasons by my weight gain.
From 100 to 101.
Exactly. And hair color.
I can't. Okay,
Lynette's storyline when she had cancer was, of course, a real, not a highlight, but I mean, my mom had cancer, and we know so many people had it, and I thought it was done so well. And I play it, Seth, and then we'll.
This is beautiful. Well, we also just want to say on a side note, we have a couple of friends that have COVID-19. A lot of people on Broadway have it. But we were talking to our friend Gavin Creel, and he was saying there's actually a lot of shame. He said because you have to isolate from other people, and you kind of feel like you did something wrong. And that's what I feel this scene just reminds me of, the shame of being sick and how sweet you all are to Lynette.
It's when Lynette opens up to all of you about how she kept it a secret.
But once your friends know you're sick, you can't pretend anymore because you can see it in their eyes. The fear, the pity.
Is that all you see in our eyes?
No, of course not. You know what? Let's make a pact. No more secrets. From now on, we tell each other every shocking detail of our lives.
I'm in. Me too.
You with us?
Absolutely. No more secrets.
Wow.
How do you feel watching that?
Oh, I just feel like Felicity Huffman is a flipping genius. She's just an unbelievable actress. And I actually remember doing that scene once it came up. I forget everything until I'm watching, and then
I remember that storyline. It was hard because we were a true dramedy. We were always a joke, and then that gravity, would take you by surprise. And that's what I loved about the show. We got to do both things. But when Felicity had this storyline, she sunk her teeth into it. She had so many questions, and then everything from her look and every scene, she was always she's the actor, and I remember Marcia. I remember that scene too. I forget all of these scenes until I see it, and then I go, oh, I remember getting goosebumps when I did a scene with Felicity in the hospital during that cancer storyline, and oh my God, I was just watching her that I'd forget my lines because she was so amazing.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Well, speaking of hospitals, we should bring in our medical correspondent. You may not know, but for those of you new to watching, we're raising money for the Actors Fund. You go to stars.inthehouse.com. But besides having fun, we have the chief medical correspondent from CBS as our permanent guest star. We somehow lucked into having Dr. John LaPook. So, ladies, you're going to come back, and we're bringing on Dr. John LaPook. If you have any questions, get back to us. Okay, so peace out.
And if you have any questions while you're watching, if we can see you backstage, just wave, and then we'll bring you on.
Yeah, we'll bring you
on.
on.
Any questions for Dr. LaPook?
I'm gonna go feed my son.
Yes.
Okay,
perfect.
good timing. Good
Perfect
timing. Where's that lady? So Marcia.
We'll just see.
And then Eva's blank. Where's Eva?
Her
Oh, there
right
she
there,
is.
her blank.
Okay,
And then Dr.
John LaPook.
Hi, guys. I love the little smile that Marcia gave because she and I know each other. I had done a story with her on CBS this morning. And I love that she said about Felicity that she's such an unbelievable actress. And it's amazing how you can be such an unbelievable actress and be a believable actress at the same time.
Yeah. Yes.
She's an unbelievable actress by being such a believable actress. Anyway, yeah, that was an amazing scene, and how vulnerable she was. Which, of course, is something I think people have to learn. I know I've had to learn with the help of my wife that, as you know, I think when I was younger, that was hard to be vulnerable and to, that intimacy of that. And that was why that was such a beautiful scene. Mm-hmm. Everybody is just having this emotional mosh pit. You just leap back and you know that you're going to be caught. So that was beautiful.
So, Dr. LaPook, we were talking earlier about this, especially because we know so many people in the city who have tested positive, and along with that shame is also fear from people who live in the same apartment building as you. Just walking down the street, especially I'm sure if you're in the medical profession. I mean, can you just speak to that, because I think there's the fear of when is this going to be over, but there's also the fear of this if you're living with it right now.
The stigma.
Yeah, the stigma. Thanks.
Yeah. So every time in history there's been an infectious disease outbreak, there have been somebody who's been blamed. And I'm looking at an article that's in the CDC from 2018. It's called "Addressing Disease-Related Stigma During Infectious Diseases Outbreaks." It goes back, and I remember during Ebola, people from West Africa were stigmatized. In this current outbreak, people from Asia, there's bias against them. You name it. Of course, during the HIV outbreak, which I was an intern in March of 1981 when that broke, the stigma associated with that. Even walking down the street, if a healthcare worker is walking down the street with a mask and scrubs, there's been both, "Hi, thanks so much," and also a little bit of sort of, let me just give that person a little bit of a wide berth. So you understand that, right? People naturally want to protect themselves, but the stigma associated with it has no place whatsoever. And I thought it was great of Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson right at the beginning to just model that and say, This is what's going on. And Marcia, you can talk about it if you want, but Marcia's been a real role model for trying to eliminate stigma associated with any kind of illness. We have to use our words, whether it's having to do with cancer or whether it's having to do with infectious diseases. And, we tell our kids to do that, right? Use your words.
Right. Yeah, Marcia, I think a lot of people are being maybe quiet about COVID-19. What inspired you to speak out about cancer?
Gosh, I first of all, I didn't realize that they were that. I didn't think about that. So I'm a little bit surprised, but of course it makes sense. I had no intention of talking about it. I was just going to get through it and move on with my life. And then because of the internet, I was reading stories from people all over the world, really, about how ashamed they were, how they were lying to their friends, their family. And I don't know if it's my, very New England, no nonsense upbringing, but I thought this is ridiculous. Very brief. And it just seemed absurd that they should have myself or have cancer and then also be ashamed. And to me, it's a body part. I didn't feel embarrassed or, badly that I should feel badly about myself, that's what happened to me. And I wouldn't have wanted the job, I always say, but I found myself in a position where it was how could I not speak up and try to help people? And, if I died tomorrow, I feel very good about people who've reached out to me and I've changed their lives in some sort of way. So that's that's a gift for me to be able to give. So it would have been a loss for me if I hadn't done it.
And for those people who don't know, because you were, I don't think I'm saying anything out of school, because we did a national piece on CBS this morning. We're talking about anal cancer that was associated with HPV, which is a virus that we now have a vaccine against. And when you did that piece, you were the very first person to really go wide with it, Marcia, and it made a huge difference. We got a avalanche, a tsunami of mail, of response.
Really? Wow.
I had people email me and say, "Oh my God, I had no idea. I was on the fence about the HPV vaccine." Wow. Certain strains are associated with not only cervical cancer, but cancer of the anus, and also of the head, of the neck, of the base of the throat, of the pharynx, the tonsils. So. And we have a vaccine against it, which now has been shown to be certainly lowering the risk of cervical cancer, and it looks like it's also lowering the risk of those other cancers. So, God bless you, really, Marcia, for having the courage to do that. It has made an enormous difference, and I know we've talked about it right here. I don't know if you saw, we're talking. It's actually relevant because this is. During this pandemic, we have to use our words about how it's spread. And one of the ways that it might be spread is that we know it's shed in the stool. And so when people wipe themselves, they have to be careful because it could get on the virus could get on their hands. And then when they go to wash their hand, they have to make sure that they don't touch the knob with that hand, touch the knob with the other hand to turn on the water and get the soap, and be very careful you don't touch your clothes with that, because you're not going to reinfect yourself, but you can touch the faucet, and then somebody else comes and touches the faucet with their hand, gets the virus on the hand, and then touches their face. So here I am telling people basically how to wipe themselves, after all these years. And it's something I was talking to another gastroenterologist tonight about this. And I said, I know it sounds weird, and I know it's icky to some people, and you've been great, James, and Seth, not making that a joke, because it could be life and death. And it's not just this, and I'll get down off my high horse in a second. I know you don't get down off a horse, you get down off a duck. But this could relieve the foodborne illnesses. When you see the sign in the restaurant, employees must wash their hands. That's what they're talking about. People go, yeah, of course you wash your hands. No, they're talking about the fact that if they have an E. coli infection or a Campylobacter infection or some other stool infection, and they get it on their hand, and then they don't wash their hand, and then they prepare your food, boom. Or that's how you could get it in your salad or whatever else, because in the place where it was processed in a farm or wherever, it wasn't washed. So there's hundreds of thousands, millions of people who get foodborne illnesses. And we also think maybe a silver lining of all this honesty will be, as we're doing proper hygiene, maybe flu will go down, which kills tens of thousands of people each year. Maybe we'll be better at that. And so anyway, that's the spiel. But Marcia, so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too. And I feel like it's been, I think I thought I was doing really well at the time, and now I see it's that much later, and I feel like myself again. So hopefully a version, but so it feels good. And thank you for doing that.
It can sneak up on you, can't it? It's like you think you thought the whole the psychology of it. So when something happens and you're fine, and you're in fight or flight mode, and then sometime later you bolt up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, and you go, that was a bullet that just went by my head.
And really, honestly, it feels to me completely surreal. It doesn't, it's almost like it didn't happen. I mean, it did, of course, and I'm changed and whatever, but I'm sure one day we'll go, the pandemic? Right. Remember that? It's surreal. This is as surreal as it gets. I mean, that was surreal B. This is mega surreal. How is this happening? I mean, I actually was, I'm going to brag a little, but I was reading about this from day one, and I'm not an uptight person. I'm not a germaphobe, nothing. And I was home in Boston, and I was reading what was happening in Wuhan, and I was like, oh my God. And I was tweeting, and I went home, left Boston. I wore a mask home. And I remember thinking, you're probably not going to get it. I said, I know, but I want people to start getting used to it. And that's how I was so on it. So what I've been doing is, because I bought masks, I did everything. I've spent more time at the FedEx because I'm constantly shipping masks to people and saying, because I just had no idea that, suddenly everybody's going to be in need. Why was I just bragging about that? I forget.
The pandemic.
Being
that's how surreal it all is. It's just crazy. And so, life is.
And it's going to turn out that the virus was around much, in February and January, probably much more than we even realized. So I can't wait for the antibodies to see who's actually immune.
I know. I'm excited.
Interesting. I wish I had already gotten it so I could go do something. I'm happy to do this, but I'd want to run to the hospital.
Well, maybe you already had it, Marcia, and so when that antibody test becomes widely available, you should get it.
Yeah, I would love that. I'd like to be able to go help.
Well, I agree with this comment. Marcia is the truly wonderful woman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Luke. We're going to see you tomorrow, as usual. See you tomorrow.
Bye, John. It's so nice to see you.
Always so soothing, so soothing.
All right, let's bring on all the ladies because we're gonna
ladies to lunch.
Yes.
And there's Dana, and there. Oh, look who's back from breastfeeding. Even though she's not even breastfeeding.
I have my wine.
So we have to
Catherine.
Yes.
Come on, we got to talk about Catherine a little bit here, Seth.
Okay, so next up. Okay, so Dana, we thought you were sort of nice when you joined the show. You're a whack ass.
Totally whack ass.
Did you ever play a character like that before?
Never, and I loved every second of it. She did it all.
When you literally keyed her car, did you only have one car, like only one take, because the car had to be, keyed once?
That was so much fun to do. Who has not wanted to key a car? Come on. But yeah, I got to kill my husband. I became a lesbian with my stripper girlfriend. I had a nervous breakdown. That was fun too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it ended up that Bree and Catherine were kind of best friends after all. It was great.
Although you didn't really like each other at this moment, if I recall correctly.
Let's see.
I'm gonna need you to give me your keys. There you go. Souvenir of our friendship.
You wouldn't know it to look at her, but the lady next door is having a nervous breakdown.
It was my best Joan Crawford.
So fabulous. It's so crazy.
One of the things I love about the show is Brenda, it's even though we don't see you, you're part of it every show. Right there, it's we want to hear from your character and what you have to say and think. I love it.
Well, I think the thing that was so much fun was that we'd have the table reads and then the ladies would go away and they'd create this amazing relationship drama and comedy. And then I'd get to come back in and just comment on it and kind of do the emotional reaction to what they were doing. And you'd think that it would be pat based on what's written. But I'd actually be acting with them because their performances so impacted mine. So even though they never really got to have a ton of time with me, I felt like I was with them all the time.
Would you see the show and then do the voiceover? Did you get to watch the dailies and then comment on it?
Not the dailies. I would see the show once they had locked it, and then I would go back. I do a pre voiceover. And then our script supervisor would actually read the Mavo on set, which was so funny because it was so dry. It's unfortunately for Bree, she was just so flat. And there were only 2 times that I actually did the voiceover live on set. And once was for the Beau Bridges 100th episode when he was sitting in his truck having an emotional breakdown because he realized that I knew I was going to commit suicide and I had given him this vase that meant something to me. And the other was when Catherine Justin's character had cancer and all the ladies were together saying goodbye. And I remember I almost didn't get through that voiceover because I was so moved by what they were doing on camera. And I was just sitting at Video Village kind of doing the Mavo, what we call the Mary Alice voiceover from there. So those are the only 2 live version. But otherwise, I was down in the basement of the Alfred Hitchcock Theater.
But poor Miss McCluskey really was sick in real life, right?
It was a very meta moment. Yes.
Yeah. We loved her on that show, man.
Oh,
great.
Fantastic.
Wow.
So acerbic. And she and Felicity had such great chemistry. They just really played so beautifully off of each other. So, yeah.
Almost everyone began as enemies and became friends on the show. Like, there's so many cranky asses, and then always by the end, right? Okay, so speaking of an enemy,
hold on, Brenda. I just texted you. We got some more donations in.
Oh.
Can you read a few of them?
You're quick, yeah.
Mary Alice voiceover.
The money keeps coming in for the Actors Fund.
For the Actors Fund, batch 2 is Jamie from California, $25. Charlene from Florida, $75. Matt from California, $150. Will from Vermont, $50. Juan Carlos from California, $255. Elin from Massachusetts, $25. I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. John from California, $250. That might be my husband, actually. Emily from Kentucky, $25. Rebecca from Oklahoma, $25. Arlene from Massachusetts, $255.
Oh my God!
And thank you all.
These donations are so big. Oh my God!
Amazing.
It is amazing. So Seth, you want to?
I was gonna say, Dana, when you began doing the show, did you know that after being obsessed with the hell's his name, Mike? Right? Yeah, Mike Delfino. Right. Did you know that suddenly you become a lesbian? Was that always part of your subtext?
I knew it all along. Although I always thought that Catherine and Bree should have gotten together. I really thought that was where it should have gone. I really do.
Well, we have to talk about the season that suddenly skipped ahead 5 years. When did you guys find out that suddenly that concept was going to happen, that everything was going to go ahead 5 years?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I do remember we had to do a reset for some reason. It was like the show had so much pressure to be as amazing as season 1. And I remember being on the red carpet at the DVD release of season 2, which was we still won a Golden Globe for. It was still a hit show, but people kind of criticized season 2. I remember this reporter going, "What do you think about season 2 being not as good as season 1?" And I go, "Oh, well, I actually like season 1." And then I would go to another reporter and they go, "What do you think about season 2 not being as good as season 1?" And I go, "Oh, I actually like season 2." And then by the third reporter, I was in tears. I'm like, "You guys are being so mean." So I remember this 5-year jump was kind of Mark being under that pressure of like, I've got to reset. I've got to shake things up and jumping ahead. And I was had short hair and gained weight and blah, blah, blah. And I remember it was like a necessity.
Yeah. And also the kids had all gotten older, and I think they wanted to have the kids jump 5 years, and that was an opportunity there.
It was quite brilliant, and especially, I don't think anyone's character changed as much as Eva's with the kids. I mean, you want to show that?
Well, also the old wiping off the makeup. Yes. When did you find out that was going to happen?
Me?
Yeah. Didn't you have that whole season where there was kind of nothing happening?
Well, I had gained in life weight, and so I was like, I can't lose all of this by the time we start shooting. And I was like,
I remember. I will never forget. I won't say it online, but she had a word for where the fat goes that you didn't expect it to go. Do you remember that?
Yes.
What letter does it start with?
F. But it's funny because Kate Adair, who was our fabulous costume designer in English, I came back in for a fitting for that season 5, I forget, and she pulled all these clothes based on my normal size, and nothing would zip up by like this much. I mean, it was not like, ooh. And so she kept going, "Oh, okay, we're just going to try something else. Hold on one second." And she get another dress and she goes, "Oh dear. Okay. Well, we're just going to go into," and like, she was so polite about it. And I go, "Kate, I know.
So you went from like a 000 to a 0?
Yeah, exactly. Ever getting chubby.
Devastating. Okay, we have a clip. We love the comedy here.
We love this scene.
I want macaroni.
Hey, I'm not a short order cook. I don't have time to make different meals for everyone.
It comes in a box. It's not that hard.
Okay, look. Mommy needs to lose a few pounds. And it's not easy eating healthy with you two in front of me scarfing down all the good stuff. So what do you say? You want to help mommy be beautiful again?
No.
You got a lot of nerve. Part of the reason I'm on this diet is because carrying YouTube brats for 18 months made mommy fat. And you, with the head, you ruined me. So this is how it's gonna go down. You're gonna eat fish with mommy and you're gonna like it. Got it? Thank you.
That is so good. I love that. You with the head.
Oh, you're funny.
Oh my God. Well, the comedy kept going up.
It wasn't me. People think I was so funny, and it was not me. Those lines were written by Mark Cherry in the most amazing. He gave me the best lines, like that one about, that's a lie we tell poor people. I mean, all of those. I mean, sometimes I was like, I can't believe this is coming out of my mouth. But the rhythm was already in the line. Anybody could have done this role and read the same thing, and you would have read the line.
No. It was you.
Really funny.
I think it was a combination. It was really good writing. It was really good comedic acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then in the 7th season, you had the comedy amped up more when Vanessa Williams joined.
I can't tell if Vanessa's frozen, contemplating, or
Sorry for money.
okay, good. It's always hard to know on this. So Vanessa Williams, you came in and you became the town biatch. Did you love playing that?
Yeah, season 7 and 8. Yeah, it was. Renee was a piece of work, and when you were talking about Mark, he not only was he brilliant, but you had to be word perfect. You can work on some shows and you can kind of fudge around and get the idea of a line. Mark was word perfect, and you made sure that, and Linda, who's a script supervisor, made sure that if you messed up, you do it completely right. So Mark was absolutely word perfect, but it was fun.
Yeah. James found so many hilarious lines you had because you were filming Marcia, which is so hilarious.
So these are 3 short little scenes.
Someone just reposted the scene where Eva and I were talking about how beautiful we both were and what burden it was, and don't we understand what a pain it is to be beautiful, but
so
we
hard.
both understand each other. It was hilarious.
So hard.
You remember that?
2 nightmares. All right, here you are with poor Brie Vanderkamp.
I have never seen so many sweater sets. Are you sure this is a closet and not a portal to the 1950s?
I was going to do a little clothes shopping later, and I was hoping you might join me.
Oh, thank God. Are we burning your clothes before or after we go? So what do you say? You up for a little stud hunting?
That's a lovely offer, but I think I'm going to pass.
Oh, come on. We got to get back in the game. Cut loose. Let our hair down. That hair does come down, doesn't it?
Oh
my gosh, that line reading is amazing.
Rude. All right, so we have actual questions from fans that we kind of want from all different ways, and we have one of our super fans here.
One of the super fans. I'm going to move the camera over.
I made my quarantine. I'm so happy that you're all here.
We love this. These were emailed to us. So Julie, tell us what they asked.
So what is it? Oh, Gary from Scotland. And what did he say? Did you take any props or sets from without asking?
Yeah, houses right now from the show.
I'll tell a story.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marcia.
Oh my God. Actually, I have Dana Delaney's chair from her dressing room in my living room right now. A red chair.
I had the blue version.
What?
You never told me that.
I didn't? We'll talk about that afterwards. But
that was in Vanessa's trailer.
I always have this picture that was in my kitchen. The last day, everybody was taking off with everything. And finally, I was like, okay, I can't stand it. I'm going to go get that picture. And I pulled it down, and it was, $14 from Marshall's. And I was so relieved. But I have that picture in my kitchen, and I love it. So I'm so happy. But that was the last day. I remember everything was like It was crazy.
Yeah,
I
there was nothing I wanted because honestly, like I said, I was Brie Vandekamp in real life. So like I didn't want any of my clothes because it was like leopard and cheetah. And I was like, I'm never going to wear this outside of the show. But I did steal all of Terry Hatcher's sweaters. I went into the wardrobe trailer and she didn't take anything. So I was like, can I have Terry's cashmere sweaters? I mean, not Terry, Susan Meyer's cashmere sweaters.
You guys may not know this, but do you remember in the production office over the couch, there was that 10-foot sized pinup production publicity shot of all of you in like different pinup things?
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
But I walked in the office right before we wrapped and I said, well, who's going to take that? And I asked George Perkins, our executive producer and our line producer, and he said, nobody wants it. And I said, can I have it? Oh. You guys don't know this, but it's in my house in Oregon in our game room. And my husband and I and my son and my family play ping pong. And whenever the ping pong ball hits that poster and it hits one of you, my husband will go, Delaney or Flicker or Marcia. You know, it's hysterical because it hits you in different places. And so you're in my life all the time.
What about you, Vanessa? You had so many great clothes. Didn't you snatch them?
Yeah, she had great clothes.
Never know. She's frozen.
She's frozen.
Who, me?
Vanessa,
Yeah.
those were Vanessa's clothes.
Yeah, that's true. She was good with the clothes.
What else? All right, we have another question from Gary.
I took nothing.
What do you miss most about working together?
These faces. I miss these faces.
Yeah.
You know what I miss seeing the same people every day. I actually have anxiety when I do movies and you have to meet people and you have to meet the boom guy and you got to meet the script and you got to meet people and then you got to bond within a month and then the movie's over. And like for 8 years, we got to see the same faces, the same camera guy, the same PAs, the same Doug Boom guy. I mean, and I love that. But I mean, of course, these ladies' faces as well. But like, I hated when I was off because I missed being on set. Marcia and I have such a strong connection. Felicity and I have such a strong connection. And then Brenda and Vanessa and Dana folded in like they were there from day one. I don't remember the day that they came because it felt like they were there forever. And so we've all created these amazing friendships outside of the show that are lasting forever. And so for me, it's I miss that. Like if we could go back and do that, this show right here, I would do it.
We want it back. All right, we have more questions after this.
Oh, wait, Dana, sorry, Dana, go, Dana.
No. I just want to say the work. One thing that I miss about it is Mark's writing was so. I compare it to Shakespeare because you could be as broad as you want or as small as you want, and it would sustain. You could be funny, you could be serious, and it's really rare to find that combination as an actor, and I miss that.
We think Mark is watching. Well, you know, it's perfect. Eva just lost power for a second. We want to talk about some of the terrifying villains you had. Perhaps you remember. Oh, Eva's there. All right, Eva, we're about to bring on a villain, but we can't have 6 on a screen. All right.
So how are we going to do this, Seth?
I guess
we
you know what?
We have a surprise guest.
Me off for a minute. Oh, cool.
Brenda, I'm going to take you off for 2 minutes because you didn't interact with this evil person. Perhaps you remember the meanness of this particular evil neighbor. Hi, Harry.
Hello. How is everybody? Hi.
Harry, what was it like for you? Because you were such a combination of you meant well, but you were so evil.
I was the sweetest one. I really was. I was the most loyal, the best natured. Really, I don't know what you're talking about.
I actually have some trivia for you to see what you remember about during the show, Felicia. Now, dear, remember when you fell down a flight of stairs because Zach attacked you? What did Zach attack you with?
A candlestick in the study. I think Colonel Mustard.
It's not true.
He attacked me with a computer or something, wasn't it? I don't have any idea.
Sports paraphernalia. Anybody remember?
God, no.
The hockey stick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would have hurt.
All right.
Yeah, we have a clip.
Hold on, we're gonna show a clip of you. Then I have more trivia for you.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing so well with the trivia.
Now look how sweet and warm you are.
It never hurts to tip the guard who does your cavity search.
Listen to me, you son of a bitch. I don't care what I have to do. I will see you behind bars again or dead. Whichever is easier.
Oh. Well, what about that wig? That's what I want to talk about. Why did I have to spend an entire season in a wig?
Harry,
they could have just cut my hair.
No.
Why was I wearing? I had like 4 people's hair on my head in that wig.
Harry, you're so welcome by the viewers. When you came on, someone said, "Oh, this bitch."
God.
I have more trivia for you. When you wanted to make Paul look like a murderer, what did you cut off?
Oh, all means of support.
No,
I cut off a digit.
More than one.
I think I cut off these.
Marcia, do you
remember? No, I cut off these because I think I caught my keys with these. So yes, I cut these 2 off.
And finally, in that heartbreaking scene, when he was all tied up, what did you have in the drip going into Paul?
Oh my God. I don't have any idea.
Natalie!
I have no idea.
Does anybody remember what was going into him? It was what we all use when we want to kill somebody. Antifreeze.
Oh, wow. She always used what was on hand.
Yeah. Whatever.
She was like the MacGyver of all the housewives. She really knew how to use what was there, what was available. It was a very peculiar experience to do it because I never got to interact with anybody. I was always like lurking in the shadows, stirring some batch of brownies, opening mayonnaise jars with malice. You know, I was always like looking through windows. So I never interacted with anybody. Sometimes Nicolette and I had something to do. And then when I was trying to kill Terry one time, you know, we had a few scenes together, but most of the time I was just sort of removed and off on my own. And so I can't imagine why people thought I was a bitch because, you know, I really was always by myself.
Well, this is what people always say about you, Harriet. She was big on the All right, so great to have you, Harriet. Thank you for making a scary appearance.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Nice to see everyone. Bye-bye.
We want that wig. Where is it, Fabulous?
There's Brenda.
Yes.
Just so you know, I just got a text from Linda Leifer, the script supervisor, saying hello to everyone. Because she was my script supervisor on the movie that I directed.
All right.
So Linda on board to help me out with that, and she was amazing. So she wanted you all to know she misses you and loves you.
Oh, Dana, we have a little clip of you. It kind of was really groundbreaking that you were a lesbian on the show because you were the only lesbian, I think, on the whole show ever, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think ever. Did you get any fan mail? Like, how did it? What was the effect of you playing that role?
Oh, it was very popular. Very. And a lot were very angry that I didn't come back in the final episode. That I all of a sudden wasn't gay. You know, like. That was a little problematic, but she was successful instead of being gay. I don't know.
Right. She made a choice. Well, you were sort of keeping it kind of a secret.
I want macaroni.
Oh, that's not it. Hold on.
Hold on.
That's the king.
That's Demi Lovato's half sister, by the way.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Oh, I think it's this scene.
I was talking to Karen's doctor. You made quite the impression on him.
Me?
Yeah, he begged me to introduce you. Do you mind?
Why would I? We're only roommates.
I miss the men. The men are so great.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I had this little Kyle doll that I was going to have with me, and I forgot it.
Wait, I'm drinking Kyle's wine. Pursued by Bear, so Kyle's here.
We had some great men on the show. I was just with Jesse Metcalf the other day. We were hanging out the other day, and so Jesse and Ricard. I love the men of our. We had great men on our show.
Yes.
Yeah, we love them too. All right. We're gonna see what you remember.
He spent like the last 2 hours before we went on the air trying to stump you ladies with these trivia questions. I'm just warning you now. Go ahead, Seth.
All right, Vanessa Williams, frozen or listening? I can't tell. I'm gonna say she's listening intently. Vanessa, what is she?
Wait, what is happening?
I think there's a long play.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on from this. So, okay, how about Dana? Catherine, do you remember your address in Wisteria Lane?
My address?
Yes, ma'am.
I only remember my mailbox. I had the best mailbox, but I don't remember the address. No.
It was 4356. Get it together. Okay. When you wanted to replace your dead daughter, do you remember where you adopted your new daughter from?
Oh, it was in an Eastern Bloc country like Slovakia or something. Czechoslovakia.
Starts with an R.
Oh, Romania.
Very good.
Yes.
Now, what about Bree? Do you remember your maiden name?
Ooh.
I do not.
Oh shit.
Does Bree Mason ring a bell? It rings a bell with Brenda Strong. Yes, Bree Mason. Okay. So let me ask you this. Remember Rex's annoying mother that was banned from the funeral? Played by Shirley Knight. Do you remember what her first name was?
No, God, do I love Shirley Knight. She's just,
yes.
I miss her. I'd like to see her again. She was just fantastic. But I don't remember her first name.
Yeah, the answer I wanted was Phyllis, but I appreciate
that's right. No, that comes back. Yeah. The Mason thing, no. Phyllis, yes. Phyllis.
Too little, too late.
Okay, we're stopping at the trivia game, by the way. We need to play like because we're not money at this either.
When you were faking being pregnant, what happened at that barbecue that kind of gave it away?
Oh, I remember.
Oh, I know. I got stabbed with a fork.
All right, big mouth Eva Longoria, since you remember everything.
I don't remember anything with me, only with other characters.
Too late. There you are. You remember your address?
God, no, I don't remember. It had a 9 in it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
4329. Very good.
That's impressive.
No, because there was a publicity photo used forever. And the address was right behind my head, and the 9 was like, it looked like a Mickey Mouse ear. So that's all. That's why.
Okay, so Carlos proposed to you very quickly. Do you remember how soon he proposed to you after how many dates?
3.
Yes! Hold on. How about I go back to the freeze frame?
That's you, Vanessa.
Vanessa!
Most important thing is she looks beautiful. That's
Yeah,
She just walked in.
coming in again.
Let's see, is this gonna work?
She's a determined woman.
All right, how about Mary Alice?
Uh-oh.
What exactly did the blackmail note say?
I know what you did, and I'm going to tell.
Very good, but now no applause, please. What? In the middle sentence. I know what you did. It
makes me sick.
Thank you. And by the way, that was the sister to
Harriet.
Yeah, to Harriet. So I killed her sister. Or actually,
No, you're a husband.
Paul killed her sister.
Spoiler alert. Wait, everyone's logging off. Okay, hold on. I have many more questions. So, Do you remember, since Mary Alice wasn't your real name, do you remember your actual real name?
Oh, yes. Oh, God. What was it?
Marcia, do you remember? When she was the nurse? Let me see if any of the fans do. Hold on. Any fans remember her real name? It makes me sick. Okay, they remember that. Everybody remembers that. Okay, hold on. Anybody remember? I'm looking for the fans. What was Mary Alice's real name when she was the nurse? 1, 2, 3.
Oh. Angela. That's right. Angela Forrest.
I'm after reading it, but excellent one. You remember this. When that nice handyman wanted to fix something and you said you didn't need him to, but then you noticed something on him and you said, you know what? I might need your services. What did you notice that made you decide to ask him for help so you could pay him? Yeah, you wanted to pay him because you saw something. You looked down.
His hammer?
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah, exactly.
No, Lisa knows.
It's a very nice hammer.
He had, you see, a hole in his shoe.
A hole in his shoe. That's right, because he had a hole in his shoe, so I wanted to pay him so that he could support his family and buy better shoes.
Correct. It was very kind of you. I'm back to Brie Vanderkamp.
And then after this, Seth, I sent you, Brenda, I think, some more donations that are going to come. Go ahead, Seth, continue.
Yes. Remember you didn't want Orson to inherit or in the divorce your expensive things. So what did you do to prevent him from getting your nice stuff?
I don't know.
You did it with your lawyer.
I don't know.
Okay, fans. Hold on. Fans, what did she do in order so that Orson wouldn't get his stuff? There we go. 1, 2. They know this showman.
I know the name?
Yeah. Hold on. It's coming. There it is. It was this. Buy them in storage because you faked a burglary.
Oh, I'm so good. I was so good. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
All right, we have 2 donations.
Brenda, did you get them?
Yes, I did. So, batch 3, Hillary from New York, $50. Alex from California, $100. Marcia Lane from Quebec, Canada, $255. And Marjo from Quebec, Canada was one of the donors for my film that I directed. So thank you, Marjo. Bethany from Massachusetts, $50. Michelle from Oklahoma, $100. Abby from Pennsylvania, $75. Falenda, what a fabulous name, Falenda, from Rhode Island, $100.
Oh my God! You guys have fans! Yay!
Poor Vanessa thinks she's having such problems with the connection. She was on the show 2 weeks ago. It was really good.
I know.
We'll bring her back. So wait, we have more clips before we go.
Well, this next clip is the intervention scene, which I just thought was so beautiful. And
such good acting.
Yeah.
I think it's right. What is it, James?
It's number 10, so I think it would be this one right here.
Talk to us, sweetie. Why are you behaving like this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not like we can't see what's going on.
We know you're drinking again.
What about all these men? We know about that too.
Wow, can't hide anything from you girls, huh?
And did you also know I tried to kill myself?
What?
Oh my God. How did that little nugget of information slip past my nearest and dearest friends?
If this is a joke, it's not funny.
It's not a joke. I checked into a motel room with nothing but a bottle and a gun. And you're wrong, Susan. It is funny that the women standing here before me, professing to be my sportive friends, are the reasons I was in that motel room.
Brie, stop.
No, don't give me this friends nonsense. All I ever was to you was the organizer, the problem solver, a leader when you needed one.
Wow. So important.
You have to go.
Beautiful breasts. And it's like, oh my goodness.
That's beautiful breasts.
Yeah.
I love that scene, Marcia. I forgot about that one.
It's so beautiful. We want to show one more dramatic scene, the Eva scene, because I know everyone has to go into Eva, especially with the little baby. So what is this scene, James? It's so moving.
Well, this is earlier on, after you've been trying to have a baby, or the adoption scene. I don't want to give it away, but it's one of the things that I think we love about the show and all the fans is that it has the comedy, but it's real too. It's outlandish at times, but some of these storylines, like Felicity's cancer storyline and Marcia's the drink alcoholism, and even with the storyline that you're about to see.
Because this really does happen, and I think you played so beautifully.
This is going to be my third time to see it. I've already cried twice seeing it. Your acting is amazing, and it isn't all line readings, Eva.
Yeah, nice try.
Yeah, nice try.
Until the adoption is legally finalized, the birth mother can still change her mind, and she has.
No.
Gabby, wait.
You don't even want to be a mother.
Well, look, Frank quit using, and he got a good job down at the plant. He's really stepped up.
So?
Well, so we're gonna give the whole family thing a shot. Well, I'll totally give you all your money back.
I don't want my money back. I want my baby.
Come on, let's go.
Carlos! No! Carlos, what's happening? No, ma'am. You don't understand. This is our baby! No, we've been feeding her, and we've been bathing her, and we wake up in the middle of the night and we rock her, which is crazy, because if you knew me, I don't do that. And my husband, he sings to her. He sings. So you can't take her away. It's too late. We've already fallen in love with her. Carlos, do something! No, you can't go. You can't take her. You can't take her. No. She's our baby. No.
Ooh.
No. That makes me cry every time.
Oh.
It's real.
Was that before you were a mom?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, and I remember having trouble with that scene. I'm not a crier. I can't cry. Ever since I had a baby, I can cry anytime.
Oh man.
But before that, I was like, oh God, how do I do this scene? Where do I grab this from? And the words helped. That line, we've already fallen in love with her, just tore my heart in two every time I had to say it. Every take, I was like a mess just for that line.
We have to wrap it up. We have a question from a fan that Julie's going to read.
From UK.
Isle of Wight.
Yeah, he asked, would any of you consider going back to the lane for a reboot or a spinoff? That's more than I thought.
1, 2, Brenda. Marcia, Vanessa, are you frozen? Or are you saying yes?
No, I'm here. I'm animated.
Mark, it's all Mark.
And would you want to go back?
Go back to Wisteria Lane?
Yes.
Was that the question? Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, my audio is ridiculously awful.
We got the
today.
answer. I'm going to text you right now. So basically, everyone's saying yes, and Marcia will do it if everyone else says yes. That's
Look, Mark. It's all about Mark.
Oh my God, it's a movie. It needs to happen.
Mark is very adamant that he'd come to a real finish with it, and so that's why I say that. It's really about him. It's his baby, it's like right.
We'll see. And our wrap up. Here's a little wrap up moment.
Isn't Mark writing a Broadway show?
He's doing a lot of things, Mark. Cheers.
Isn't he writing a Broadway show, Mark?
I don't know. Is he? He hasn't emailed me.
Okay.
You want to wrap it up with this? This is like this last scene.
Yeah.
It's just a really fun to lighten it a little bit.
Just to lighten the load, just to show how you guys work so well together.
Hey, so what do we know about the new guy?
Definitely rich. Check out the car.
Definitely single. Check out the fish.
Rich and single. I wonder what he looks like. You rarely get the trifecta.
What's your guess? Wonky eye, rabbit teeth, comb over, one normal eyebrow, one really big one. Baby hands. I had it all in one guy. Did not end well.
Well, I actually saw our new neighbor this morning. 6'1", 190. He was wearing this great-looking pair of jeans. And let me just say, I can tell you one thing that isn't wonky.
Gabby?
Oh, come on, I'm married, I'm not dead. I can still imagine all the dirty things I do to him.
Like what?
Oh, God!
It's so great. It could have been so many men. I was like, who is it? Ryan Green? Is it Kyle? Is it? Well, I had a lot of men. But anyway. I didn't know who it was going to be. Did you guys?
Vanessa wound up getting married to him, right?
Yeah.
We can't thank you all enough for joining us today and for all of you.
This was so lovely. All right. Well, we think this is going to go on for a little bit more of a while, so maybe we'll have a second one. That's my hope.
Yes, this was so much fun.
Yeah.
You can tell we sort of love the show.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Oh, thanks, Julie.
Thank you so much, you guys, for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you.
Bye, girl.
Bye, Eva.
Bye,
Bye,
I love you.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, wow. We're rolling the credits.
Rolling the credits.
All right, so these are the credits, and then we'll wave goodbye one more time. Oh, then I should play the ending, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here we go. My God, the chords are so weird. It's so weird to play.